On this CRV, P0088 is a fuel pressure control code. In plain terms, the pressure being reported in the direct injection fuel system may be higher than what the control side expects. The driver may notice a warning light, rough running, hesitation, hard starting, or the vehicle may seem normal. Broadly, this can involve the fuel rail pressure signal, the high-pressure fuel pump and relief control, the low-pressure fuel supply, or poor terminal contact at the sensor, pump, or PCM. Before getting deep into P0088, start with the basic system checks and follow a structured diagnostic approach. If other fuel pressure, injector, ignition coil, or high-pressure pump codes are present, check what they mean first, then come back and recheck P0088. Start by capturing the data. Record all freeze data and onboard snapshots with the HDS. Turn the vehicle to the on mode, clear the DTC with the HDS, then start the engine. Hold engine speed at 3,000 RPM with no load in park or neutral until the radiator fan comes on, then let it idle. From the HDS inspection menu, select the dye fuel pressure test and check for pending or confirmed codes. If P0088 comes right back here, the failure is duplicated and you move into the fuel rail pressure sensor check. If it does not come back, go to the road test verification. If the idle check does not duplicate the problem, test drive the vehicle for several minutes in the range of the captured data. Use the recorded engine speed, vehicle speed, load-related sensor data, temperatures, and fuel pressure data as your guide. Then check the HDS again for pending or confirmed codes. If P0088 sets, treat it as duplicated and continue to the sensor check. If it does not set, the system is okay at this time. At that point, handle it like an intermittent. Check for poor connection or loose terminals at the fuel rail pressure sensor, the high-pressure fuel pump, and the PCM, and try to reproduce the captured conditions instead of guessing. With the fault duplicated, turn the vehicle to the OFF, or lock mode. Remove PGM-FI main relay 2 from the underdash fuse and relay box. Start the engine and let it idle until it stalls. After it stalls, press the accelerator pedal to the floor and crank the engine several times. Now look at fuel pressure converted from PF sensor on the HDS. The decision point is less than 1,000 kPa. If the reading matches that threshold, continue to the next fuel rail pressure sensor check. If it does not, the diagnostic path calls for replacing the fuel rail, which includes the fuel rail pressure sensor. Next, turn the vehicle back to OFF, or lock, and reinstall PGM-FI main relay 2. Start the engine. Again, hold engine speed at 3,000 RPM with no load in park or neutral until the radiator fan comes on, then let it idle. Now shift to drive while pressing the brake pedal firmly, then press the accelerator pedal. Do not shift the transmission or lift your foot off the brake while raising engine speed. On the HDS, compare fuel pressure converted from PF sensor with fuel pressure direct injection system and watch the relief valve status. If both pressure values are almost the same and the relief valve reads normal, the fuel rail pressure sensor is considered okay and you move to the low pressure side check. If the two pressure values are not the same, the path calls for replacing the fuel rail, including the fuel rail pressure sensor. If the relief valve indicates abnormal, the path calls for replacing the high-pressure fuel pump. If the fuel rail pressure sensor passed the comparison check, move to the low-pressure side and check fuel pressure. If the low-pressure side fuel pressure is okay, the diagnostic path calls for replacing the high-pressure fuel pump. If the fuel pressure is not okay, stay on the low-pressure side and check the fuel supply system. The key with P0088 is to separate an actual high-pressure control problem from a bad pressure signal or an intermittent connection. Duplicate the code first, compare the pressure data, check the relief valve status, and only then move to the low-pressure side or the directed repair path. After the repair, rerun the appropriate checks and confirm the code stays gone. For more diagnostic training, visit Diagnostics.com.